The Young and the Restless Spoilers. Welcome back to our channel, you guys. It is a wild Wednesday, and I am honestly still trying to process what we just watched on our screens today. Grab a coffee or maybe something a lot stronger because we really need to talk about this episode. My heart is still pounding, so let's just dive right into it because I am exhausted and my brain is still spinning from the ending of today's episode. I mean, seriously, what are the writers even doing to us right now? We all knew the whole Patty Williams blackmailing Jack storyline was going to blow up in a spectacular way. We knew it. But I don't think any of us on social media were prepared for the absolute bloodbath we just got. And I mean a literal bloodbath. I have been covering this show for a while and I am used to the drama, but today felt different. It felt so heavy, so dark. Let's rewind a bit to set the stage, because the build-up to this was just agonizing. A few episodes ago, Patty was waving that staged photo of Diane in a padded cell right in Jack's face. She was demanding that Jack sleep with her to get Diane back. She wanted to recreate their magic from the yacht. That was already so gross and so incredibly dark. I remember sitting here thinking, okay, the writers are really pushing the envelope with Patty's delusions this time. But Jack being Jack, he was desperate. He and Kyle have been losing their minds, trying to find Diane, who we know was locked up in that weird barred room by that creepy doctor. Markham and Jack finally, somehow, tracks them down. And you would think this would be a classic soap opera hero moment, right? You guys know the formula. Jack kicks down the door. He saves his wife. They hug. Kyle cries. The bad guy gets arrested, and everyone goes home to the Abbott mansion to drink scotch in the living room. That is the usual style. But no. Instead, we get this horrific, twisted tragedy that felt like something out of a late-night horror movie. I am honestly still shaking typing this out. So Jack gets into an altercation with Patty. We know Patty is completely delusional. She has always been obsessed with Jack. We know her history. She poisoned Summer years ago. She is highly dangerous. But to actually pull a knife and stab Jack Abbott, the patriarch of the family, it was brutal. She just snapped. Maybe he rejected her again. Or maybe he tried to physically push past her to get to Diane, but she stabbed him deep in the stomach. And then we get to the scene that is probably going to win Peter Bergman an Emmy next year. Jack is bleeding, just bleeding everywhere. So much blood, but he doesn't call 911 right away. He doesn't fall down and give up and wait for help. He literally drags himself to where Diane and Kyle are. He wants to celebrate their reunion. He wants to see his wife's face. It was so heartbreaking and so incredibly stupid at the same time. Like Jack, apply pressure to the wound. Stop walking. But he just stumbles into the room where Diane and Kyle finally are. He stumbles into the room and he has this look on his face, this weird, forced, agonizing smile, like he is trying to tell Diane, hey, I did it. I saved you. We are going to be okay. But he is literally dying while he says it. It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion. He is holding his gut. His expensive suit is just ruined, soaked in dark red, and he is dragging his feet step by step. Every step looked like it took a year off his life. And he just wanted to celebrate. He wanted to celebrate that they were reunited. It is so tragic. Diane is already traumatized, right? She has been held hostage by Markham, gaslit into thinking she had a mental breakdown, locked in a room with bars on the windows. She finally sees Jack, and for a split second, you can see the absolute relief on her face. And then she looks down. She sees Jack holding his stomach, and she sees the red stain just spreading and spreading across his shirt. and Diane just lets out this guttural scream. Susan Walters was incredible in this scene. You guys, she just screamed, and it was piercing. Kyle is there too, and he is just frozen. Diane is crying and screaming. What the hell happened? What is going on? And Jack, looking pale as a ghost, barely able to stand, just looks at them and gasps out, "Patty did it!" And then his eyes roll back and he just collapses. Boom. Dead weight on the floor, right at their feet. I honestly thought he was dead, right there. The way he fell, it wasn't a dramatic soap opera swoon. It was a heavy, lifeless drop. The thud actually made me jump. The panic that set in after that was chaotic. Kyle snaps out of his freeze response and drops to his knees. Diane is sobbing. Her hands are covered in Jack's blood. They are frantically trying to stop the bleeding while someone calls an ambulance. The whole scene was just loud and messy and terrifying. The paramedics rush in, and they are shouting medical jargon, loading Jack onto the stretcher, and the amount of blood. I just keep going back to the blood. The Young and the Restless doesn't usually go this gory. It felt so raw and so real, which makes me wonder, what are the writers thinking here? Are they actually going to kill off Jack Abbott? Let's be real. Peter Bergman has been on this show forever. He is the Abbott family. If they kill him, the whole dynamic of Genoa City shifts forever. Victor Newman would have no real rival left. The corporate wars would change. But then again, maybe Peter wants to retire. I don't know. I'm just speculating here because I am terrified. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. You can't just stab Jack Abbott and not have major show-altering consequences. So then we cut to the hospital, the classic Genoa City memorial waiting room of doom. Kyle and Diane are just sitting there. Diane is still wearing the clothes from her hostage situation. She has Jack's blood on her hands and her shirt. She looks completely shattered. Kyle is pacing. He is trying to be the strong son, but you can see he is breaking inside. They have been waiting for hours. The surgery is taking forever. And every time those double doors open, they jump. We have all been there watching these scenes. The tension is just unbearable. And while they are waiting, I just kept thinking about Patty. Where is she? Did she run? Did the cops catch her? If Jack dies, she is looking at murder. And what about Dr. Markham? Did he just slip away in the chaos? There are so many loose ends right now. But none of it matters until we know if Jack is going to make it. I actually started to feel a little bad for Patty for a second, knowing how sick she is. But then I remembered she stabbed Jack, and I was like, nope, lock her up and throw away the key. Actually, I changed my mind. I don't feel bad for her at all. She is a monster. And what is Victor Newman going to do when he hears about this? We know Victor is currently busy being a complete monster to Nikki, drugging her and stealing her company while she thinks she is dying, which is a whole other rant I need to go on tomorrow because Victor is completely unhinged right now. But Victor and Jack have this weird respect for each other deep down. If Victor finds out Jack is dying, will he care? Will he gloat? Will he secretly be devastated that his favorite sparring partner is gone? The ripple effects of Jack dying would touch every single character on this canvas. Finally, after what felt like 5 actual years of commercial breaks, the doctor comes out of the surgical wing. He has his surgical cap off. He looks exhausted. You know the look, the I have terrible news look. Diane and Kyle immediately jump up and grab onto each other. They are literally holding each other up because they are so scared to hear the words. The doctor walks over to them slowly, so slowly. Why do soap doctors always walk so slowly when they have bad news? Just spit it out. The doctor looks at them and delivers this extremely shocking news. And then the episode ends. Boom. Roll credits. Are you kidding me? We don't even get to hear the actual words clearly before the dramatic music swells. But we see Kyle and Diane just completely break down. They hold each other and just wail. It wasn't a sigh of relief cry. It was a devastated, world-ending cry. Did Jack die? Is he in a permanent coma? Did the lack of oxygen to his brain cause severe damage? Honestly, I am leaning towards brain damage or a coma. I just refuse to believe they would kill Jack, but the way Diane was sobbing, it makes you wonder. Maybe he needs an organ transplant and he has a rare blood type? No, that's too cliche. Maybe the knife hit his spinal cord and he is paralyzed. That would be a massive storyline for Jack, having to navigate life in a wheelchair, losing his independence. It would give Peter Bergman some incredible material to work with. But whatever the news is, it is bad. Really, really bad. What if Jack is brain dead and the family has to make the decision to pull the plug? That would pit Diane against Tracy and Billy, and it would be an absolute bloodbath in the boardroom and in the living room. Or what if he is in a coma and Patty sneaks into the hospital to finish the job? The possibilities are endless, but none of them are happy. The writers have plunged us into a very dark era for the Abbotts, and I am just sitting here, staring at my screen, feeling completely drained. So here we are, stuck waiting until tomorrow to find out what the hell is actually going on. I am going to be stressed out all night. The fans on social media are already losing their minds, trending hashtags and throwing out the wildest theories. Some people think Victor is going to step in and fly in a miracle doctor, which would be ironic considering their history. But right now, everything is just dark. The Abbott family is broken. Diane is finally free, but at what cost? Jack tried to be the hero, and it might have cost him his life. I need a nap, honestly. I have been staring at this screen for too long, and my heart rate is way too high for a Wednesday afternoon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Jack is dead? What did the doctor say to make Diane and Kyle react like that? I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully with better news. But honestly, I doubt it. Tomorrow is probably going to be an entire episode of flashbacks and crying, and I don't know if my tear ducts can handle it. Keep Jack Abbott in your thoughts, you guys. We need a miracle in Genoa City right now.